Well, it's finally over. The Keir Starmer Premiership finally coming to an end. And I wrote about this today over at Heathen News. See the link below to go and read my article and stay in touch with me over my Substack where you can read all my articles. But look, it takes a unique scale of failure for Labour to have gone from 411 MPs to the man that led them to that resigning less than 2 years later. And it's because this government and Keir Starmer as a Prime Minister, the definition of talking a good game and achieving absolutely nothing. And just to give one specific example, why is it that Labour, just like the Tories, think it's acceptable for illegal migrant boats to continue to cross pretty much every day at the moment, or most days at the moment? They seem to think this is acceptable. Why have they not sent the military out there to stop this? Why are they not taking more urgent action? And, you know, the Starmer speech itself today, with music in the background, sort of stripping away any real dignity from the moment, was an embarrassment, a national embarrassment, and shows you once again the decline in standards in our country.
Change promised by a Labour government. Change fought for by a Labour government. Change delivered by a Labour government. But I know the question being asked now is not who was best placed to change the Labour Party, to take us into power and to begin the vital work of improving lives for millions of people. Those questions have been answered. The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace.
Of course, the speech itself, typical Starmer, looking down at notes every 2 seconds, seeming completely unable to say anything without looking down at a piece of paper constantly. But look, in terms of what the verdict is, overwhelmingly, surprise, surprise, the country does think Starmer was right to resign, including a majority of Labour voters. Now, as to what comes next, of course, Andy Burnham likely to become the next Prime Minister and Labour leader in a coronation. And if you go back to 2022, Burnham was demanding a general election at the end of the Conservative leadership drama. Angela Rayner, another one of those, saying that the Tories have crowned Rishi Sunak without him saying a word about what he would do as PM. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Nobody voted for this. It's time for a general election. Well, are Labour complete and utter hypocrites? Of course, I suspect many of you will say, yes, of course they are, Mike. They're going to avoid an election by any means. However, there are, it seems, some voices, at least one Labour MP today, saying actually the right thing to do here, unless we're a bunch of hypocrites, is for an election to go ahead. Nigel Farage and Reform calling for an election. And I really think it speaks to just how slippery and weak the Conservatives are still, that as an opposition party, they're saying that there should only be an election with caveats there. Absolutely pathetic, as usual, from the Tories. I hope that a general election now is to follow. It'd be the right thing to do for the country, given Andy Burnham, of course, wasn't even an MP at the time of the last general election. But please do let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.